Good afternoon, Abhinav sir, and welcome everyone. So this is our sixth weekend. Again, welcome everyone for the session. We have got a lot of insights in the different topics from Abhinav sir and Saturn Paper team about RCs, algebra, mathematics, and whatnot, and essays as well. So now we are going to hear it from Abhinav sir about the different test taking tips related to SAT. So over to you, sir.
All right, thank you, Harshal. Hi, everyone. Very good afternoon. It's just been a long season, right? Almost 6 weeks. And end of 6 weeks, we have learned a lot about SAT prep. We've learned a lot about the test. We've learned how do you go about. So time now comes, as to what do we do to maximize our scores or to improve our scores as much as we can. So I'm going to divide this session into three parts, and I'm going to talk about each of the areas separately. We'll also briefly cover up what resources you should be using and how you should be pacing your prep. So let's start with math. We discussed the math resources in one of the previous sessions, and the resources that you need to use, I told you was we can use a Barron's book. Just a moment, please. Yeah. So sorry. Or you can use, a book by College Panda. Use lots of practice papers. Practice papers you can get from College Panda. You can get it from the College Board official guide, right? The problem on math section basically can be two. Number one, running out of time. Running out of time is probably a result of not managing your time very properly. So what is it that you should be doing to avoid running out of time? Consider this. All questions on the SAT math section carry equal marks. But are they of an equal level of difficulty? The clear answer is no. The clear answer is no, right? Some of these questions, or let me say the tougher questions here, would very easily be 5 times as difficult as the easier ones. You got to realize this opportunity cost and the trade-off, and make sure that you do not get stuck onto any of these questions. In fact, the momentum must not subside ever. The best way to do this, is to, whenever you get stuck with the question, you identify it, circle it, leave it there, and come back to it later. It is never recommended that you attempt the same question twice. No. If in first attempt you have not got it, leave it there. Do not let it hassle you. Do not let it fluster you. Come back to it a little later when you've finished off everything else. And usually you'll find, the tougher questions in the math section would be typically, towards the end of the session, end of the MCQs, and towards the end of the grid-ins also. Second, analyze your test papers thoroughly. So look at where, where the problem lies. What is the area where you're getting the question incorrect? And maybe just go back and revise them. A third thing that you could do is well verse yourselves with the use of a graphing calculator. Especially, I remember I told you in the session also, if you have a question on statistics that can be solved on the GDC, it should always be solved on the GDC and should not be solved manually. Extremely important. What else? A lot of us tend to classify, our mistakes as silly mistakes. We'll say, oh, I committed a silly mistake here and I could not really score. That's not the correct way to go about it. I normally think that there is nothing called as a silly mistake on a math section. You'll have to sit down and dissect it further. What is it that is making me commit that silly mistake? Am I making a mistake of calculation? No, normally not. Or am I making a reading mistake? That is something that will happen more often here. You would have left out critical elements of the question. You would have rushed from solving a question, from reading a question into solving a question. So I normally use this red light, green light example, So when you're doing math at school, it's typically a two light affair, red light and green light. On the SAT, it has to be a 3-light affair, a red light, an amber light, and a green light. So from red, you immediately do not go green. Read the question, think for a moment, pause for a moment, see if I have a well-directioned strategy in place, right? And then go and do the solutions part. Use the breaks between the tests very well. Remember, this test permits you to eat between the sections. So there's a 10-minute break that happens at the end of section 1, where you're permitted to leave your seat and leave your room and go out and operate your bag. Make sure you carry some eatables there, typically some dry fruit or something like an energy bar and a Tetra pack of juice. So replenish your energies, hydrate your cells, and then come back and take the test fresh. Coming back to math. If anyone has a math related question, you can ask me right now. And then we'll move forward. I'm still waiting for your questions. Yes, today is the last day of the SAT Prep Festival. We'll come back with an AP Festival later on. Scholarship winners will be shown on the Next Genius webinar website. Scholarship test is done already. Don't ask me when is the scholarship test. I want this session to be more interactive. I want you guys to ask me some questions about the math section where you're facing difficulties. And I'll be glad to take them on. Got full marks in math, but got very less in English. We'll talk about that in the English section. Anyone else with a question on math? Yes, guys, I'm waiting for your question. Non-linear equations, basically parabola. The calculator comes handy. Apprise yourselves thoroughly with theory. Okay. How to avoid silly mistakes? Silly mistakes are best avoided by analyzing your responses and seeing where is that mistake coming from. Is it a reading mistake? Is it a calculation mistake? That alone is going to create that extra amount of sensitivity towards those areas that make you commit silly mistakes. Are all questions MCQs? Kind of. There are grid-ins. There are 13 grid-in problems where you have to type the answer. About the statistics questions, please make sure you use the GDC always to solve them as much as possible. Go back and revise your concepts as much as you can. See what are the areas you're getting a mistake on, and then take it up accordingly. But then math is not very difficult to improve here. It's a very small syllabus, it's just 4 units. So do lots of papers and analyze them thoroughly. Unfortunately, most of the people would hear my first recommendation out, but they would not hear the second part of it, which talks about the analysis. Make out detailed sheets. What all questions I got incorrect on the first section, second section, what were the reasons for getting them incorrect, and how do I approach a similar question next time around so that I do not get it incorrect. All right, let me see more questions typed in. Before I move on, I would just want to, these are questions about mostly the scholarship test. I'll take them at the end. The scholarship test, when was it? It was on 30th and 31st of January. Statistics, solve them on, for word, yes, there was one good question about word problems. Okay, word problems, the key is not to read the entire problem at a go. Read it in parts, absorb it well, and apply the elimination technique. So take one small part of the question, take it to the options, see if I can eliminate a couple of options. That is something that is going to help you do the word problems. Can Indian students solve the math question with only 2 months of? Yes, they can. Math 2 months is enough, more than enough. From where we can use learning the GDC is not very difficult. You'll find short videos on everything on YouTube. Can we get a free sample paper for SAT for free practice? You'll find them on Khan Academy. Please go to Khan Academy. You'll find 8 free practice papers over there. How to deal with statistics, get your concepts right and use a GDC. All students who applied for the scholarship test were sent a mail. Trigonometry normally doesn't contribute more than a question or two questions at max. Okay, let's move on. Moving on to the next area, writing. What do we do about writing? So writing, I normally find, is the easier of the two English sections. Why? Because it is more like math. Writing, end of the day, is a set of principles, that you got to apply. First of all, get yourself the right book on writing. So the best one which I can recommend is the one by Erika Melzer. That's a beautiful book that will in a very precise fashion, take up all the concepts that you need for this test. Get the right practice material. You may use a Princeton Review or just use the College Board official guide or the online practice on Khan Academy. Now, what happens is questions on the writing section can broadly be divided into 3 categories. 1 related to grammar, 2 related to punctuation, and 3 related to rhetoric, which is about placement of words, placement of sentences, structuring of sentences. Usually students find, the first 2 types, they're able to get ahead with these quite easily. And the third one, which is rhetoric, normally gives them a lot of problem. So the correct way to go about rhetoric problems is that you analyze multiple mocks parallelly. The last 5 mocks that you have taken, spread them on a bed, identify one question which is a rhetoric problem from the writing section on the first test, look out for a parallel question from the second test, parallel question from the third test. If consistently you're getting rhetoric questions incorrect, then there's some problem, with the way you're approaching these questions. There is something which you fundamentally think is correct, but is not correct. This is something you'll have to go back and fix, right? And whatever areas from grammar and punctuation, the questions that you're getting incorrect, you can identify those topics, go back to the textbook, go through the relevant portions again, and then come back. So that's about writing. Punctuation, typically students from ICSC or CBSC are going to struggle a lot with punctuation because either of these education systems does not put much emphasis on punctuation. But in my opinion, it's not something very difficult to be learned. You go through that book twice, take a highlighter in your hand, roll it over, go through the relevant portions, read that book cover to cover, page to page. That should take care of it. And again, on writing section, I don't think timing would ever be a problem. Okay. All right. So let's see. Any app for ACT? ACT, no, there are online, no apps available. You can write to us. We have a testing platform, which of course has to be purchased. There is no essay in the SAT this year. Until the May exam, the essay would be conducted. After that, the essay has been discontinued. Is there any book apart from College Panda or Barron's because they're expensive books? So, I mean, SAT books you'll not find any cheaper than this, Ankita. I'm so sorry. There's no subsidiary of these books. You'll have to get a few good books, or may rely on the official guide. Official guide, you'll find it online also easily. Essay has been discontinued now. When was the scholarship test? 30th and 31st of January. No app for ACT. There is some online practice available on the ACT website. I'm yet to give my class 11 finals. When should we give the next SAT? May, I think, would be good. May is what you should be targeting. How are you guys planning to give scholarship if there are multiple 1600 scholars? The prize would be split in that case. I don't think so. There are going to be multiple 1600 scholars. Only the top scorers, no, multiple people will get the scholarships. I think we have shared the details earlier. Erika Melzer, E-R-I-C-A, Erika Melzer, M-E-L-T-Z-E-R, Melzer, Erika Melzer, book for SAT writing section. You'll find it easily on Amazon. The subject tests also have been discontinued. Now, post the month of June, they'll not be conducted. reading section is so bad, what should I do? This is what I'll come to now. So talking about the reading section, this is what is going to give you goosebumps. For an average Indian student, the reading section would present, the greatest of challenges. More so because most of us do not have a very active reading habit and we don't tend to read much. The first thing in the longer run, if you want to improve yourselves in the reading section, is to actually read more. Read as much as you can. So even if you're in grade 10, grade 11, and you start reading about 45 minutes to 1 hour a day, that should bring about a lot of good vibes over the next 3 months' time. So pursue it as a habit and do it daily, every single day. You should have something or the other in terms of, reading on your plate. That's going to help you a lot. Now, coming down to exam specific strategies. There are two ways with reading. Number one, when you struggle with time, and number two, when you don't struggle with time. When you struggle with time, you'll have to take one step backwards, work on your reading skills, and then come back to the test. Okay, I assume that I do not have the time to work on my reading. My test is so close, I cannot do any of these. What do we do? Okay. Again, go back into an analysis format. And for the last 5 mocks that you've taken, create a telemarks table of where my mistakes are coming from. So there'll be two types of students here. One who are very comfortable with sciences and social sciences and struggle with literature and history, and the others would be vice versa. So see, what is your Achilles heel? What is the area that you're struggling with really? And once you identify that, try to solve that passage towards the end. For example, if I'm struggling with history, make sure that I do the history passage towards the end and not towards the beginning, because that is going to engage me. Another thing that you can do, is maybe if you're slow with your speed, try attempting only 4 passages thoroughly. Rather than giving a hurried attempt to all 5, just do 4 of them thoroughly. What else you could do out here, apart from improving your reading speed? One other strategy you can consider is identify what is the kind of question that you routinely go wrong with. And maybe for each of these 5 passages, identify just those 1 or 2 type of questions and leave them, just like we decided for math. That also helps you a lot. Try reading the question first and the passage later if you're too slow with your speed. Try skimming the passage and not reading it in full, but there is no given one strategy that is going to work for you. You'll have to be a bit experimental and see what works for you and what does not work for you. Again, if history passages are a problem, make sure you identify, you find out a small book, concise book on US history. You'll find plentiful of them online. Or go through maybe, a movie series that in the 3 to 4 hours is going to show you the entire history of the United States. So that will give you some idea of the context involved, which normally causes a lot of trouble. See how you would have learned here how to solve the paired questions. Paired questions, again, there are 22 of them on each of the tests. Perfect the art, practice more, identify mistakes and analyze those. Usually the tougher questions would be, a lot of you would find the main idea question extremely tough. So what you can do is, rather than answering it at the beginning, usually that question is the first question. Just leave it there and come back to it last, because by that time you would have read the entire passage multiple times with a view to answer various questions. So that's another strategy that you can work on. So nothing, concrete here on the reading section, but this also would require the maximum amount of effort and a bit of experimentation, but experimentation followed by analysis. Blind experimentation would not do. And work on reading. When you read across genres. So don't read multiple books from the same author, right? So take up one author, read one book, move on to the next one, read another book, read something on history, read some old English books, literature, stuff like Jane Austen, Charles Dickens is stuff that you should be reading as a part of your regular readings. All right, let me take your questions again and then we'll wind off. Not a very long session today, but we've had Arika Meltzer books are also expensive books. Yes, they are. You can find these online if you can. I cannot help you with this. I'm so sorry about this, but SAT books would normally be expensive. Most of them are published in the US. Should we first read the passage and then solve the question, or else just go to the try both and see what works for you, Abhishek? Is no knowledge of US history or constitution can lead to bad marks in the reading section, not in the writing section. In the reading section, one of the sections here is US history based passage or constitution based passage, so which is something you should be acclimatizing yourselves with. So some prior knowledge of that is definitely going to help. Any more questions, guys? I'll wait for another 3 to 4. ACT book for 2020. You can use the last year's book. This year's book would not be very different from what the last year's book was. Graphing calculator is a must, in my opinion. You should get it, because even if you're thinking in terms of going to the US for higher education, you'll need a graphing calculator there. You can get a good score in math without it also, with use simple scientific calculator. Let me see more questions. Don't take the essay now, not required. What will we get after scholarship? You'll get a fee discount on, a course with Saturn paper. So just wait for a mail from them. For ACT also, graphing calculator should be used, in my opinion. It makes things so much simple for you. Last 2 minutes, guys, for me to take up your questions. Study abroad webinar I keep on doing. There's so many you'll find on the Next Genius website also. Structure of the reading and writing section, I think we've discussed during the classes. You can visit the College Board website. You'll find detailed structure is at length. So, or refer to the official guide of the SAT. All right, Harshal, you can come in now. Maybe I can take the last 1 or 2 questions. Subject tests, don't take them anymore, not required.
Okay, sir. I guess most of the questions have been answered related to all the different things about, and what I could withdraw from many of the by far as like analyzing your mocks and then giving the next one, like trying to rectify your mistakes, would be one of the most important step while preparation. Thank you for all the insights, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Harshal. Bye-bye, guys. See you again soon.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be announcing an AP Prep Festival very shortly. One more question. Let me see if it is relevant. All right.